What's up guys, Aidan O'Brien back with another video. I know it's been a long time. My last video was produced so well, I didn't want to put out something that was going to go backwards. Okay, so I waited. Now we're going to be back again with some great quality. The most important thing is some great topics, some great teaching, some great training for you to get you from where you are to where you want to be. So I work with a lot of clients every single day in my group mentorship and one-to-one, speaking at events as well around the world. And I have a whole host of problems people come to me with. So I've seen it all and I've heard it all. And today I want to just pick one thing that's been coming up a lot recently. And that is that why can't I take action? So I get this a lot from people. You know, I have an idea, I have a dream, I have a vision, but I'm not taking action. Like, what's stopping me? And there's a couple of reasons. I'm just going to pick a few to start with today. One of the first ones is a lack of clarity. Now, if you watch this channel, you know I'm always talking about a lack of clarity. People don't have clarity on who they truly are, on what they truly want, and most importantly, on how to get there. So unless you have a destination in mind, it's very difficult to find a direction. It's very difficult to get the steps. So the first thing you need to do is get really clear on who you want to become and what you want to achieve. And if you already have an idea of the type of person you want to become and the type of life you want to live, you got to get clarity on how am I going to get there. You know, you really have to get specific, really detailed, clear. That clarity is going to give you the confidence then to move forward and to take action. You know, so often people have an idea of what they should be doing, but they're not super clear on what they have to do. So that's the first thing, getting clear, getting clarity on the steps and the end goal in particular. I always say start with the end in mind. You know, all my clients, day one, they create a vision of their life 2, 3, 4, 5 years in the future, a schedule. When they wake up in the morning, the afternoon, their day, what are their daily rituals, who's in their life, what kind of habits they have, what kind of work, how much income they have. They have a very clear vision, and then we reverse engineer that back. So that would be the first thing, clarity. The second thing we touched on already, and that's confidence. A lot of people don't have the self-belief. They don't believe they can do it. And if they do believe they can do it, they don't believe they can do it right. So you get really clear, okay, you know what to do, and then, okay, why am I still not taking action? Maybe you don't believe in yourself. Maybe you have, you know, the third one you'll see coming is fear, and this is kind of linked into the second one. But a lack of belief is oftentimes a lack of confidence, a lack of self-belief because of fear inside from when you're a child. So maybe you had some traumas when you were a child. Maybe you wanted to go play with a group of kids in a playground and they didn't, you know, invite you in, or they told you go away, and that traumatized you. That kind of created some sort of wall, some sort of barrier, some sort of pain point. And now taking action, you know, that triggers you now, and that brings that back subconsciously. So you don't even realize it's below your level of conscious awareness. So you just notice yourself not taking action, but you don't know why. Okay, so there's probably some sort of self-belief that needs to be worked on. Okay, and self-belief is a huge thing. We often talk about self-image. You know, if your self-image, you're the movie in your mind of yourself and what you're capable of and the life you want to live, if that doesn't match the vision, if that's too small, that's going to stop you. So we really want to work on self-belief. We want to get your confidence up. We want to get your self-image to match that life you want to live. So that would be the second reason. So first, clarity. Number two, confidence and self-image. So number three is what we touched on in number two, a fear. So a fear of failure, a fear of rejection. You know, fear, you often heard false evidence appearing real, and you can forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. That's all the fear acronyms I know. A lot of people struggle with fear, and ultimately it's rejection. None of us want to be rejected. No one likes rejection. You know, they say the successful entrepreneur, the successful business person, they're the people who have embraced, accepted failure. Because I know from, you know, over 12 years being an entrepreneur, failure is part of it. You know, any success I've had has come after tons and tons of failure. And even all the knowledge I have and the experience and how I help so many clients every day now from all over the world, I can only help them because of my failures, actually, because all the things I learned through failure. But unfortunately, that's sometimes too big of a roadblock for people. They have too much fear, and they don't actually understand what the fear is. Sometimes it's just they're waiting for the right feeling to come to take action. And unfortunately, if you wait for the right feeling to come to take action, you'll never take any action. A wise friend said to me recently, if you only walk on the days the sun is shining, you'll never get to your destination. If you're watching this, you know who you are. I told you I'd get it in the video. So if you wait until the days are sunny, you're never going to get where you're going to get. Okay, and it's the same with your business, it's the same with your relationship, it's the same with your money. If you're always waiting for the feeling to come, you'll never take the action. Okay, so entrepreneurs, successful business people are Any kind of success in your life, in any part of your life, comes when people set the intention and they go and they take action no matter how they feel. So you cannot wait for the feeling. And people don't ask themselves the question, what is the feeling? Why do I feel like this? What's causing this feeling? People don't ask that question. They feel like crap, they feel low energy, they feel doubt, and they don't take action. Even when it comes to training and fitness, some days you feel like going for a run, you go for a run. Some days you don't feel like it, you don't. Some days you feel like eating healthy, some days you feel like eating crap. Most people are they're led by their emotions. You have to lead your emotions. Most people are led by their thoughts. You have to lead your thoughts. So that fear of failure, that fear of rejection, again, that's a default setting in all of us. We all have traumas since we're kids. We all have insecurities. But we have to get that vision clear like we did in the first step. We have to get our self-image up like we talked about in the second problem. And that's when we start to overcome this fear. So if we don't address the first two issues, we're never going to get past the third issue. So ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Am I afraid of rejection? Am I afraid of failure? Am I afraid of how I will look? You know, people don't want to be embarrassed. And that comes from school as well. People they get embarrassed. What will people say? And oftentimes we let people they're not where we want to be, but we let them influence us. So if people's opinions influence the quality of life that you're living, maybe you need to take heed of what they're saying. But if people's opinions have no impact on your life, why are you allowing them to have an impact on your life? Why do they affect your choices, your decisions? So unless someone is where you want to go, is where you want to be, I wouldn't be taking advice from them. If they haven't walked the path you're walking, why are you listening to them? You know, you often hear, you can't pay your bills with other people's opinions. Well, you can't. So forget everybody else's opinion, forget how it looks, you take action, and maybe people will judge you and maybe people will talk about you. That's their problem. The chances are those type of people are talking about you anyway, so just get over it. And when you succeed and you find your way, they're going to come back and say, wow. They're going to tell people how they know you, and they're going to ask you how you did it. They're going to ask you what steps you took. Okay, so that's number 3. The fourth and final issue, fourth reason you're not taking action, is actually still part of fear, but I like to call it a part B of fear, and people don't talk about it enough, and that's the fear of success. A lot of times people are actually afraid to take action because what happens if I succeed? What happens if it works out? Like, what if I actually deliver on what I'm talking about? Then what's the world going to think? What's going to be the expectation on top of me now if I do step into my light, if I do step into my power? You know, a lot of people have a fear of success. I know for me, it stopped me for years because I noticed it. Like, I get really fit and then stop. You know, I do really well in business and then pull back. It's always just self-sabotage, like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And it's sometimes like, well, if I get super fit, then what? Well, now there's a responsibility on me on another level. What happens if I make X amount of money or if I reach this level of success? That's a whole other level of pressure and expectation. Most of it you're putting on yourself. But that can really stop you from, again, taking action. And it kind of links to the third issue. If you do become successful, you know, what will people say? Will people talk about you because you're successful? Like, I've had clients, you know, I've had 2 this year who, you know, we took them from really struggling and in despair, and now in the last 2-3 years, they're really succeeding on a high level. And 2 of them were buying new cars. And I remember one guy, took him 6 months to collect a car. I'm not joking, 6 months to collect a car. Because he said, what will people say in my community when I'm driving around in this brand new car? And, you know, they were so worried about it. And then we had to go back and deal with all those kind of things and, you know, feed his mind and get him really energized from the inside out, get him super clear on why he deserved it and deal with why he thought it's a problem, what other people think. And we cleared away all that stuff and he picked up his car. I know this sounds like a story from The Secret or something, but this is true. He had earned it, but he wasn't ready to receive it. And that's a whole other video we can do on why we don't take action. You know, sometimes we're not ready to receive. And that was something, he done all the work, had the success, turned his business around. You know, I speak with him every week still, we still work together. And now he's driving around in his car and he looks back on that and it's actually a lesson. He tells people how he was afraid of that and now he's enjoying the car. So are you afraid of succeeding? That's a real thing. So those are the 4 reasons, guys, maybe why you're not taking action. I hope you got some value. If you did, which one stood out to you? Let me know in the comments which one really resonated with you. Maybe all of them did. I'd love to hear your feedback, love to hear your comments, and any other questions that you want me to cover in other videos, make sure you let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, give it a like, hit subscribe. I'm going to be putting out regular content now. I'm committed to giving you everything I know, And again, the links are below for you to contact me directly. Follow on Instagram, start the conversation, and I will see you soon. Peace.